Workers have been taking pre-employment drug tests for years. For many companies, it's a standard part of the hiring process, but the new numbers show that more Americans are now failing. That brings Jane Wells to our next story, the big business of fooling a test with like fake pee. So you brought some fake pee right next to my water, and you're like, oh, it's fake pee. And I go, well, if it
don't drink it. No,
if
I'm not
passes
drinking it.
Jane, if it passes as pee, it probably has the same, it might as well be pee, and you brought it here.
Well, I don't know, because it doesn't have, like, the bacteria, you know, it doesn't have the...
Example.
It's clean.
Most pee is sterile.
Laboratory.
You know what? People drink their pee in the desert when they, you know...
Pee is sterile.
It is sterile.
Yeah.
Okay, go with
Just
your, let's
smell
hear
it.
your, no, that's okay. Thank you.
Companies need workers.
I thought it was apple juice. I almost did.
And that has put the traditional employee drug testing model in a bind. Quest says the amount of positives for drugs in the workforce is growing. It's still under 5%, but it's at the highest level since 2004. And the main reason is cannabis. Quest says marijuana positives are up 17% from 2014 when legalization began. HR consultant David Lewis says companies are increasingly looking the other way because they need workers.
We have companies that have been working with us for years who always had a pretty strict drug testing policy. They've dropped that policy now, or they've dropped pieces of it so that they're testing for less and focusing more so on what their main concerns are, which is some type of level of abuse and things that are going to put their employees in some kind of danger.
Also up, cheating on this test, like the one I bought from Test Clear. There's also one called Wizinator. Some are more anatomically correct for men, come in different shades. I did not buy one of those because I want to keep my job. But synthetic urine is a thing.
If there's a way to cheat something, there's a business for it. I mean, that's the way of capitalism.
I think this is pretty crazy, and it doesn't make up a fair playing field for everybody.
All my urine samples say I'm pregnant.
I asked David Lewis how often follow-up testing is done these days, because I took a test when I first joined this company, but never again. He says companies usually don't do follow-ups because they don't want to know if you're a productive employee. Yeah. Why find something you don't want to know?
How much did that test cost?
$43.
That's it?
Yeah, and you get, I bought two. And you pour regular water in it, and then you put a foot warmer, one of those
odd, right here,
and it makes it warm. Yeah, it's like it's like at 98 degrees right now.
So it even feels
right. You need it warm. If you hand a sample and it's room temperature, they're gonna know.
Yeah.
Cannabis lasts like a long time, I think.
Yeah.
Isn't it? How long? Do you know?
I don't know. I think it depends, but I've heard like maybe as much as a week.
Now you say depends on this segment. Thanks.
By the way, opioid positives are down.
That's what I'm asking you. But how long does that last?
Well, I don't know.
You have to have it the previous day. If it's last week, I don't think it shows up. What about Coke?
I don't know. I think pot.
Some things are gone pretty fast.
Yeah.
Pot stays in.
Yeah, but the Quest said opioid positives are down, and I don't know if it's because people are waiting or those people just aren't getting hired.
I came from FNN. Remember?
Yeah.
29.
In L.A.
And didn't take one there and never took one here.
Oh, I took one here.
I never had to take one here.
You take one here?
Thank God I never had to.
It's the only test I've ever taken.
And remember, you had to go to 30 Rock and go into the bathroom there, and they watched you.
Right. No, I didn't.
Nobody watched.
At the door. They took me to the door.
See, but that's the thing. If you are a guy and you get one of these anatomically correct ones, you can just you have strap-ons and I'm sorry, I don't want to get fired, and you put it in your pant and you just put it. But a woman, it's a little harder
really said
to if they're watching.
So I never
Unless
did.
You have a dress
Mac, how did you? I mean, they never gave me one. How did you get by here, Mac?
Mac is super straight. He drives like 5 hours a day. He does not do any drugs.
For 5 hours, what are you doing for 5 hours? I mean,
but then you also
I wouldn't blame you.
But you bring up a good point. What companies do need to know if you have cannabis in
Right,
your
we
system?
talked about this before.
Yeah.
My uncle works at a trucking company, and I know it's a huge deal for them. They have a hard time finding people who pass it. And you don't want people on the road in 18-wheelers who can't pass a drug test.
It was an issue for a while, too.
Yeah.
But also DOD, law enforcement.
I mean, there are some
everybody
crazy
needs
stuff.
workers.
People go in, and since you are watched, some people do have those things that...
You missed it. She poured the pee in his water.
No, I'm not. I'm not drink it. No, I'm not going to drink it.
Smell it.
I'm not going to drink it. I'm not going to smell it, drink it, or touch it.
Do it.
I'm not going to do anything.
Chug.
All right, Jane, thanks. Are you here?
You're my
this
hero.
Is it for
I'll
you.
be back in like a year.
Can you come back like tomorrow?
Well, it is Saturday.
Monday. Come back next week.
I'll be at the border Monday in Tijuana.
Best thing I've ever seen.